Welcome back to the guide. Let's learn how to use Bethany to configure Skyrim's ini configuration files. So let's go ahead and download and install Bethany. Click download, files, and Bethany standalone version. Go ahead and save it. Let's open our download folder. Then let's open our Lexy's Legacy of the Dragonborn shortcut. Create a folder called Bethany. Or Beth.ini. Open up the zip folder here, and let's go a little bit deeper. And let's drag the contents of this folder into Beth.ini. Okay, this tool where we're actually going to run outside of Mod Organizer. Okay, so run Bethini.exe outside of Mod Organizer 2 and make sure Mod Organizer 2 is closed or changes won't take effect. So let's go ahead and load Bethini. Choose your game. Skyrim Special Edition. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is make sure that Bethini recognizes that we're going to run Skyrim through Mod Organizer 2. So click Setup, then under Mod Organizer 2 here, let's go ahead and point it to the Mod Organizer 2 folder. So let's go to our Lexy's Legacy of the Dragonborn folder, Mod Organizer 2. Then after we do that, we're going to have the ini path point to the profile that we created for Legacy of the Dragonborn in Mod Organizer 2. And it should automatically see it right here. Mod Organizer Legacy of the Dragonborn Special Edition. Your ini files are successfully reverted. Good. ini path change, application will restart. Okay, Bethany has the ability to modify game's custom ini files if found to match any changes you make. Recommended. Do you want to allow Bethany to do this? Yes, that's what the whole point of this is. Okay. Okay, then after that, the first thing we're doing, we're going to click default. And this will refresh your ini files to the default settings for your system with minimal tweaks. Then we're going to click on the high preset. And then we're going to make sure Bethany preset option is checked. That's right here. Make sure windowed mode is checked. And it is. Make sure borderless is checked. Okay. Then make sure FXAA is unchecked. That's right here. And it's unchecked. Make sure anti-aliasing is set to none. Anti-aliasing set to none. Make sure VSync is unchecked. I'm going to uncheck that. Make sure lock frame rate is unchecked. That is unchecked. Okay, now we're going to go to the Journals tab. Make sure intro logos is unchecked. Then we're going to make sure post load update time is at 2000. Post load update time is at 500. Let's change it to 2000. Now we're going to go to the gameplay tab. We're going to make sure over encumbered reminder is set to 60. Then make sure NPC use ammo is checked. And then make sure first person arrow tilt up angle is 0.7. Set 2. Let's change it to 0.7. Make sure third person arrow tilt up angle is at 0.7. And then make sure first person bolt tilt up angle is at 0.7. Alright, now we're going to go to the interface tab. Okay, make sure Bethesda's modding platform is unchecked. Then make sure mouse settings lock sensitivity is set to 0.0125. It already is. Now we're going to go under the details tab. Make sure field of view is set to 85. And make sure particles is set to 2000. Already is. Make sure depth of field is checked. It's right here. And it is checked. And then make sure lens flare is unchecked. Lens flare, uncheck. Click. Then make sure reflect sky is checked. It is indeed checked. And then make sure ambient occlusion is unchecked. That's right here, uncheck. And then make sure shadow resolution is set to 2048. Shadow resolution is indeed at 2048. Then we're gonna make sure the shadow BIOS is set to 0.47. Shadow BIOS is set to 0.15 right now, so let's set it to 0.47. Good. Then we're gonna make sure sun shadow transition is checked. And that is located right here. So go ahead and click that. Then make sure sun shadow uptime is set to 0. That's right here. Set to 0. Then make sure sun shadow update threshold is set to 2.0. That's right here. So 2.0. Excellent. Moving on. Now we're going to go to the view distance tab. That's right here. Click. And let's make sure grass fade is set to 18,000. Here's grass fade right here. Gonna set that to 18,000. Good. Then we're gonna go to the visuals tab right here. Click. Make sure grass density is set to 60. And grass density is set to 40 right now. Let's go to 60. Make sure grass diversity is set to 15. Diversity is at 3. Let's set it to 15. 15. Then make sure improved shader is unchecked. That's right here. Improved shader is indeed unchecked. All right, then we're gonna go back to the basics tab and then save and exit. Cool, cool. That's it for Bethany. But there are some post Bethany tweaks that we need to do. While Bethany does handle the vast majority of the tweaks needed to the INI files, a few need to be changed manually. This will be done via Mod Organizers 2's INI editor. To access the viewer, do the following. So let's go ahead and open up Mod Organizer. And we're going to go to the toolbar, click on the wrench and spanner, and go to INI editor. That's right here. Cool. Let's go ahead and open this up a little bit. Okay, so the first change that we're going to do is under Skyrim.ini. That's right here. So let's find the grass section. Okay, here's the grass section. And we're going to look for a B grass point lighting. Okay, so B grass. And you'll see that there is no entry for that. So we will manually enter that. So let's enter to create a new spot. Then type in B grass point lighting. All one word, $1. Okay, now go to the save game section. That's right here. We're going to change B disable autosave. So we're going to have to manually enter that as well. So create a spot. B disable autosave equals 1. Enter. B allow scripted force save equal to 0. Next. Then B allow scripted auto save to equal to 0. Okay. I notice I use a capital B. Let's put lowercase b. I don't think that makes a difference, but Okay, so let's go to Skyrim preference.ini. That's right up here. Find the display section. That's right here. Big wall of text. And let's find BSAO enabled equals 0. Now, if you don't feel like scanning for this, you could actually hold down Control and F to bring the find window here, and then just type in BSAO enable. Then find next. And there it is. We found it. All right, cool. Click close, and we want this set to equal to 1. Okay, then we're going to go down and find the main section. That's right here. Now let's find B save on pause. B save on pause. Right now it's equal to 0, and we want it to stay that at 0. Then B save on rest. That's right here. we're going to change that to 0. And then bsave on travel, we're going to also change that to 0. And then bsave on wait, change that to 0. Okay, due to the heavily modded nature of this guide, it is advised to have autosave turned off and to create fresh new saves every time and not overwrite old pre-existing saves. And that's basically what we did by setting all of these to 0. To be honest, I've never had a problem with autosaves and all that, but since the guide is advising that we do that, that is what we're gonna do. Okay, Skyrim custom.ini is created by Bethany and can be used to overwrite settings placed in Skyrim.ini. For the purposes of this guide, we will use a blank copy of this file placed in the Legacy of the Dragonborn Special Edition profile that you will use to actually play the game. Okay, so let's click save and exit out of that. Do you want to save changes? Yes. Yes. All right, in the next section, we're going to create the skse.ini. Before you can edit the skse.ini, you have to create it. Okay, to do that, we're going to right click on skse scripts. We're going to open Explorer. And then in this folder, we're going to create a new folder. And we're going to call it skse. And then we're going to enter that folder. And now we're going to create a new text file, our text document. And we're going to name it skse.ini. Once that's created, go ahead and open that. And let's copy and paste this right here. Cool. I want a space in between these two. I don't think it matters, but I like having it. So let's save and close it. Okay, this enables self-healing of rogue updating scripts and saves. Great. What do you guys say we wrap up the prerequisite sections of this guide? Okay, the next step, we are going to install xlogin. To do that, let's go ahead and download it. Okay, this is taking us to Mega. Let's download it. Save it. Okay, in our Lexy's Legacy of the Dragonborn folder, let's create a folder and call it xlogin. Open up the zip file. Let's go one step deeper and then drag this into that folder. Okay, the next step we're going to do is we're going to create a folder called SSE login_output in the root directory of our drive. And this is going to be in the C drive. And then when we're done with that, we're going to add executable to mod organizer 2. So let's go ahead and open mod organizer. Click on the executables configuration button, click on the plus sign, add from file, and then go into Lexy's Legacy of the Dragonborn folder that we created, then into xlogin, and then click on the executable, the x64 version, click open, and then before we click apply, we're going to add an argument. So right here, so just go ahead and copy this. Paste into the arguments, and where it says drive letter here, replace that with the drive that you where installed your SSE login output folder. And in our case, it's the C drive. So C. Now we're going to hit apply and then OK. Okay, next step, DynDOLOD. DynDOLOD standalone. This is a utility used to create a mod based on the load order, which adds custom distant LOD for objects to Skyrim. I love this mod. So many people are confused by this mod, but I will guide you through this. Right now, this is just the initial setup of the tool itself, but the actual generations of all the LODs through DynDOLOD is at the end of the guide. So let's go ahead and get this done. Download main into files, and then we're gonna download right here. Save file, create a folder, and we're gonna call that DynDOLOD Special Edition. Then we're gonna open the zip file, go one step deeper, drag all these files into that folder. Okay, those tools are set up. And then we're gonna add the 2 executables in that folder into Mod Organizer. So click on Configure Executables, click on the plus sign, add from file, go into Lexy's Legacy of the Dragonborn folder, DynDOLOD Special Edition, and we're gonna first do TextGen64, click Open. In the arguments field, make sure you put dash SSE, click Apply, click plus, and then we're gonna add DynDOLOD X64, open, and arguments field, dash SSE, apply, okay. And then those tools will be waiting for us when we're ready to use them much later in the guide. So let's go ahead and set up zmerge. So first we're going to open up zEdit. So in the drop-down menu here in Mod Organizer, go to zEdit, click Run. Then from here, from this drop-down menu, we're going to click zmerge and then Start Session. Okay, then from this screen, we're going to click on the cog in the upper right corner. It's going to bring up this screen. We're going to navigate to Integration Settings. That's right here. And then under Mod Manager, we're going to click Mod Organizer 2. And under MO2 Instance, select Portable. It's already selected for us. And then under Mod Manager Path, fill in the file path to your main Mod Organizer folder. So click on this little folder here and direct it to Legacy of the Dragonborn folder. Here's Mod Organizer, select Mod Organizer, select folder, and then the Mod Manager mods path. So click the folder, go back into Lexy's Legacy Dragonborn folder, double click on Mod Organizer 2, select mods, select folder, and there we go. And you probably could have pressed detect and it would have found it for you. Okay, then we're going to go to merge settings. Then on the merge settings, we want to make sure that the merge output path is going to the mods folder in Mod Organizer 2, and it is, because Lexy's Legacy of the Dragonborn folder that we created is under C drive, Mod Organizer 2, then mods. And then we're going to deselect disable plugins. Then we're going to navigate to archive creation settings. And under advanced, we're going to change minimum files per archive to 999,999. So 6 nines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're also gonna click on Create Texture Archives. And we're gonna make sure that's unchecked. And now we're gonna click OK. And we can now close zmerge. This is for when ready to merge plugins or merge mods. All right, great job. All right, now let's move on to the ENBs. ENB series. This is a graphics modification library designed to allow gamers to configure their games to their liking. So let's go ahead and download these binaries. Okay, we're gonna select the latest, 0.452. Scroll all the way down. Here's download right here. Click the little arrow and save. Great. Open that folder. When the file is downloaded, we're going to open this the zip file. We're going to go into the wrapper version, and we are going to select d3d11.dll, and we're also going to select d3d compiler _46e.dll. So select those. So control click those two to select those, and then we're going to drag and drop this into the Skyrim Special Edition directory in our Steam library. So click on our shortcut. See, this shortcut was worth it, wasn't it? We were going in here a lot. And then here's Skyrim Special Edition, and we're going to drag these 2 files into that directory. Okay. Okay, moving on. The ENB preset we're using is the LJOS. ENB for cathedral weather, night eye, real-time snow cover, performance friendly. So let's go and download that. All right, we're gonna click on Mod Manager Download. Click Download. And I'm using Firefox, so with Firefox this pops up. And we're just gonna always use this application to open NXM links. So if you're using Firefox, we'll click this box and then open link. And then it'll automatically download here in Mod Organizer. So normally we're looking at plugins, click on downloads, and here it is right here. If you're using Chrome or some other browser, I'm unsure what would happen. I think it'll just automatically download into Mod Organizer. But anyways, after we've done that, now we're gonna install it. So we've got some instructions here, full mod instructions. So when you double click the download here in Mod Organizer, you're gonna get this window. It looks a little different because we're using a different theme, I guess, for Mod Organizer 2, but here we go. So we have two options, custom and Lexy's cut. So according to this, we're gonna choose Lexy's cut. Then we're gonna click next. Then you can click 0 here, and you'll see what we're supposed to do next here. We're gonna choose full, next, and then next. And then install. Okay. Okay, then after having done that, we're gonna right click here, open an Explorer. Then we're this folder here that says to Skyrim folder, double click on that, and we're gonna select all that. We're gonna copy, and we're gonna paste that into the Skyrim directory. Okay, good. And then there's a few INI settings that we need to tweak. And to do that, we're gonna go into tools here, go into INI editor. We're gonna go into Skyrim.ini. First things we're gonna go into the display section. Okay, we're in the display section. Let's open this up a bit. And we're gonna look for each of these settings and tweak it to what is instructed here. And if you can't find that specific setting, then we're going to manually enter it. So the first one we're looking for is F Global Bloom Threshold Boost. So F Global. Okay, so that's not here. So let's go ahead and just copy. And let's just put it up here. So click next to display, hit enter, and we're going to just put it directly under there. The next one, FSAO bias. So let's see if that's here. Okay, that's not here either, so let's go and do that. Copy. And we're going to put that directly underneath what we just entered. Paste. Then FSAO EXP factor. FSAO. Okay. That is also not here, so let's go ahead and copy that. So I'm doing Control C. You could right click and copy. And we're going to put this directly under what we just put in. And I'm Controlling V to paste. Then FSAO intensity. Okay, pretty much all of these aren't in here. I don't see an entry for FSAO. So let's go ahead and just let's copy all of this at once. Save some time. Control C to copy. Directly underneath that. Paste. Okay. Okay, after that, we're going to go into Skyrim prefs.ini and change the following. Skyrim prefs is right here. So let's go to the display section. Here it is. Let's open this up a little bit more. Okay. So let's go to Be Enable Improved Snow. Be Enabled Improved Snow is right here. I'm going to make sure that's 0. It's already 0. F gamma is right here. It's already set to 1.000. BFXAA enabled. BFXAA enabled is 0. And then BU's TAA 0. BU's TAA 0. It's saying here that you could use it if you want to, but only choose one of these if you prefer to use TAA or FXAA. I'm just going to leave them both off. Okay, next we're going to do BIBLF enable. BIBLFE enable. So right here, I set that to 0. Then BIND enable. BIND enable to 0. It's already on 0. BSAO underscore CS enable 0. I know this seems like a lot of information all at once, guys, but pause the video if you need to and just take it slow. There's no rush, and just carefully enter and make these adjustments as you go. Then BSAOE enable. BSAOE enable. We're going to set that to 0. All right, next, B trees receive shadows. B trees receive shadows 1. It's already set to 1. B draw land shadows. B draw land shadows to 1. It's already set to 1. B shadows gone on grass. B shadows. Okay, I'm not seeing an entry for that, so we're gonna go ahead and copy this entry. And let's put that under B draw land shadows. And paste it there. Okay, next is B use 64 bits HDR render target. B use 64 bits HDR render targets right here. I'm gonna set that to 1. Then B volumetric lighting enable. B volumetric lighting. Okay, here it is. B volumetric lighting enable to 1. It's already set to 1. And then B volumetric lighting quality. Okay, I'm not seeing that, so let's go ahead and, oh no, it's I volumetric lighting. There it is right there. Okay, I volumetric lighting quality to 2. That's already set. Okay, great. So save, go ahead and exit out, clicks. Do you want to save changes? Yes, we do. Okay. And as you're installing this guide, you're gonna notice from time to time that you're gonna get these notifications. It's saying that there's something in the override directory again. Let's see what that is. Let's go ahead and deal with that. zEdit backups. Yeah, you don't need to worry about that. It's an empty folder anyway. If you just take a look, just take a peek, empty folder. You could delete it just by doing that and going in there and deleting it, or just right click here and clear overwrite. Okay. All right. It's like, I like to keep that clear. All right, setting up HDMI full range. This is for people that are connecting your monitors through an HDMI cable. And if you're doing that, you want to make this adjustment. So for NVIDIA users, I happen to be an NVIDIA user. I'm going to right click on a desktop, click on NVIDIA control panel. And then we're going to go to change resolution right here. Scroll down. And I'm using a display port, so I don't really need to make this change. But if you're using HDMI, first you're probably gonna have to click here, use NVIDIA color settings, and you want to make sure your output dynamic range is set to full. Then click apply, and then you're good. AMD users, I'm just gonna read this out loud for you guys. If you're using AMD Radeon graphics card, you need to do a similar tweak, but you have to change the display pixel format instead. This can be done by selecting RGB 444 pixel format PC standard, full RGB, instead of the default RGB 444 pixel format studio, limited RGB, inside of the AMD Catalyst. I assume AMD Catalyst is like the NVIDIA control panel. I'm not sure. I've always been an NVIDIA guy because of the NVENC encoders and things like that for streaming and video encoding. So after you make those changes, that concludes the prerequisite sections. In the next video, we get to move on to mod installations part 1. Now, I know we just went through a bunch of stuff, and technically we have already started modding Skyrim, but in my opinion, it is here, right here, where we finally actually start installing mods to greatly improve our Skyrim experience. I am so excited to move on. I hope to see you in the next video, guys.